Xavi, just bring us up to speed then. What are the developments this lunchtime?
Well, Chelsea are aiming to have a new manager in place by the middle of next month. And they now have a shortlist. And I believe that on that shortlist, there are about 5 or 6 names that they're focusing on. The names on that shortlist include Xabi Alonso, Andoni Iraola, and also Marco Silva. And the reason they want to get this sorted out by the middle of June is, of course, they want the new person to be involved in their planning for the transfer market this summer. Also, they want somebody to be in place so that he's in charge when Chelsea leave for their pre-season tour. This summer, they're going to Australia and Asia, and their first game actually is in Sydney on July the 28th. But by the middle of next month, Chelsea should have a new manager in place. So
we've mentioned a few names there. Is there a front runner at this stage?
I think it's too early to say that there's a definite front runner. Most Chelsea fans you would speak to would say that the person they want is Xabi Alonso. He is probably the person with the most impressive CV as a player and as a manager at the moment. If we look at what's happened to him recently, he was the Real Madrid manager for 8 months. He left Real Madrid at the beginning of January. At that point, there were 4 points behind Barcelona. Of course, last night they played Barcelona, lost 2-0. Barcelona won the title, and they're currently 14 points behind Barcelona. The big question about Xabi Alonso is because he's got such a great CV, he may have other options as well. And also, he may decide that now is not the right time for him to move to the Premier League or to move to Chelsea. He has the option of taking a year out from the game. Other names in the frame, of course, Andoni Iraola. Everybody knows about him. He's leaving Bournemouth, done a fantastic job there. He's got other options as well. Clubs like Crystal Palace really want to sign him as well. I think what he will be doing is assessing all his options and seeing whether a club like Chelsea actually do zero in on him and offer him the job. Marco Silva is a really interesting one as well. He's done a good job at Fulham over a long period of time. We still don't know whether he's going to sign a new contract or not. If he doesn't sign a new contract, of course, he will be somebody who is on Chelsea's radar. They're already looking at him as well. But I think he is in demand as well. And if he decides to leave Fulham, he too will have other options.
And I mean, we're in a position here where there are a few managers without work. We know there are managers leaving clubs. We know there are managers potentially leaving clubs. We know there are clubs looking for new managers. Do you think we're going to see a bit of a manager merry-go-round?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's almost going to be like a sort of transfer window for managers because so many clubs are changing managers, so many good managers are available. Let's not also forget about what could be happening with Jose Mourinho, for instance. There's a really good chance that he will be returning to Real Madrid. And for instance, if he goes to Real Madrid, then that opens up a space at Benfica, somebody like Marco Silva. His agents have very good contacts with Benfica. Who knows, he may feel that the time is right for him to leave Portugal. So it won't just be a managerial merry-go-round in the Premier League. It'll be a merry-go-round around Europe as well.
I think it's a great choice.
But I like Lampard, but that's not going to happen. Out of the current options, Xabi Alonso.
I'd like to see Big Frank Lampard, but I think it'll be too soon for him to come back here.
I think for me, Xabi Alonso, reasoning for what he's done in the Bundesliga, and compared to the options that we're looking at as well, I think he's the best shout for us.
Mourinho, certainly because he'll bring success.
I want Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League with us, and it's absolutely robbery that he sacks. Todd Bowley doesn't have a clue, so get him back.
Somebody, but the thing is the manager in the door. He has to have the right freedoms to manage, and what I mean by that, if you was to go and get, Dream World, Carlo Ancelotti after the World Cup, Jose Mourinho, somebody who knows football and knows this league inside out, who knows how to win, who the lads, when they look at him, they have no doubt that they're looking at a winner. You need someone like that. If you do something like that with a big name, which is going to cost you a lot of money, you have to then let them work. You know, you let them do their thing, let them control the players, and let them give them the mandate to rebuild the club. Because this system where we're going at the moment doesn't look like it's going to bear fruits.
So in Joe's dream world, he would like Jose or Carlo Ancelotti. Let's have a listen to see what the Chelsea fans would want. it's all eyes as well on who they appoint in the summer, Joe, is their new manager. What kind of manager do they need? Who would you want?
Who would I like? I mean, I hear Newcastle, not all Newcastle fans, a few Newcastle fans, about him being under pressure, Eddie Howe. I'd take Eddie Howe. My problem is at Chelsea now, and the way it is and the way it's all run, is I think they'll be always getting a manager that's grateful to manage Chelsea instead of a top drawer. I think the days of your Mourinho's, your Contes, your Tuchels, your Ancelotti's, them top, where, you know, the club are grateful for them being the manager of the club. I think now they'll be looking at managers who are grateful to come in and manage Chelsea because the way they run the club and the way it is. And, you know, and Areola, you know, Bournemouth, Chelsea have been outrunning every single Premier League game this season. That's you know, how do you turn that around? How do you turn? This is not a young this is not an ageing football team. This is one of the youngest teams in the Premier League. So for them to get outrun in every single football match is worrying. And I think top managers will look at that and think there's a lot to be done. There's a lot. They need a couple of experienced players. There's a few players that shouldn't be there. They need players in. This is a big job, and I ain't sure one of the big boys will take it.
Yeah, I was speaking to our colleague Carbe last night on this situation, and our understanding is Andoni Iraola, Marco Silva and Xabi Alonso are among the managers Chelsea are discussing as potential replacements for Liam Rosenior this summer. Let's start with Iraola, who will leave Bournemouth at the end of the season after 3 years in charge at the club. He's been linked with a return to Athletic Bilbao, who he represented during his playing career. Let's look at Marco Silva now, someone we all know very well in the Premier League. His contract at Fulham runs out in 2 months. Now, he's got plenty of previous Premier League experience, having been head coach at Hull, Watford and Everton, and all in all has been very successful. Right, someone else we know, it's mainly from his playing days in England, Xabi Alonso, currently out of work